Hello and welcome to Com100 Online for the fall of 2017. This is going to be a brief tour of the class to help you understand how the recommended method for going through the class. The first thing I want to point out is this fabulous to-do list. So I'm looking at Canvas in the student view and this wonderful to-do list comes up. I am addicted to to-do lists, but this is not always going to be the best way to do it because the class has been put together using the modules. So when you click over here in the modules, you'll see each one of the lessons will come up. It'll have all of the materials that you need, with the exception of your course text, which you can read online, or you could purchase the entire book. So you're really going to want to click on the modules and go through the lessons so that you'll understand everything that you need to do. If you'll notice when you log in, I found this really groovy picture, shows the blending of ideas. This is how we know communication is actually happening because two people are able to put their heads together and make something new. You have a nice welcome to class, tells you to click the modules to get started and begin with the get starting modules. And a thing here telling you to go to the announcements and read those. Notice I also have some possible pacing for the class so that you can get a feeling for when things are due. When you go through the class and you look at the schedule, it kind of looks like a Monday, Wednesday class, and that wasn't really intentional. It was just to give you time to be able to read the book and take the quizzes and do different exercises, post to the discussion board, give people a chance to be able to read the postings of their colleagues and have time to be able to post a reply before we begin working on the next unit of instruction. So it just seemed like a lot of people need the weekend to be able to catch up on stuff. So a lot of things are due on Mondays because of the idea that you used the weekend. Now, if it was me, I'd want everything to be due on Friday, so I wouldn't work on it over the weekend because I know that lots of times people have challenges with procrastinating. You can always turn in work early. You just can't turn in work late. You'll notice I mentioned you have access to the book. You have access for 21 days, and there's a link here. It's one of the things that we worked through with the publisher because we know a lot of times students don't have money at the beginning of the semester. They're waiting for a book waiver or something else so that they can purchase their books. So we got the book publisher to give us access to the book for free for 21 days, and you can access that right here. So that's kind of a handy thing. So if you go and you look at the announcements, you'll see some announcements that are in there, welcome to the class, and some different notes, online access to the book, use the modules. There's some notes in here about looking ahead. If you want to see some of the notes that pertain to later units in the class, you can always check that out. The syllabus, I know that's always the first place people want to click. When you click on that syllabus, it's going to take you to the actual syllabus document is this. You have to click on the link. This is simply a list of when things are due. So you can see all of the due dates right there. I don't know about you. I'm a big fan of sticking them all into my calendar so that I can keep track of them so I don't miss any. If you click on the syllabus, it's going to take you to a Google Doc. The syllabus is loaded on the internet. It makes it real easy to make changes to it if need be. You can see that my name, Amy McPherson, and where my office is in H215. I really recommend if you have any questions, stop by and come and see me. I always have bottled water and snacks in my office. I like to feed students when they stop by. See my email address. I am very responsive and I respond to email Monday through Friday within 24 hours for sure. Sometimes I take weekends off. I have other responsibilities and things I do, but come first thing Monday morning, I'll be answering those emails. Also including my Google number. The Google number is super cool because it creates any message that's left into a text message. So that way I can read them. It makes it a lot easier than trying to listen to them. And you can see my office hours are listed here. You can make an appointment and come see me. I'm usually at work later. So I carpool with my family, and so I tend to be here till 5:30, 6 o'clock each night. So you can always make an appointment to stop by and see me. And if you make an appointment, I'll make sure I'm here so that I can meet you. You can see the competencies for our class. There's 22 competencies in Com100. That's a lot to cover in 16 weeks. And I break it down into looking at in terms of a larger picture of outcomes, the foundations of communication and some applications of those concepts, interpersonal and small group communication. We're going to do an applied project in that unit about intercultural communication, and then, of course, public speaking. There's lots of notes in the syllabus about, all the rules, about turning in things, a description of the assignments, how the grade is going to be formulated. It's a very traditional 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, that kind of stuff. You can see about Phoenix College's general education outcomes, how I feel about academic dishonesty, and some other notes. And then there's a schedule. If you look at the schedule, you can see like the first couple days of the class are orientation, and you have some orientation materials that are going to be due on Wednesday, because then on Wednesday you're going to start reading chapter 1. You'll notice it says chapter 1, chapter 1, chapter 1, chapter 1. Okay, now on Monday the quiz for chapter 1 is due and your first discussion board post is due. That means you can do that chapter 1 quiz and that posting anytime that you want in that timeline. So you've got 5 days to think it through. Then the quick little exercise will take you about 3 minutes to do, and then you have to write a reply to a colleague from the original posting. And notice the cycle starts again. It's one of the things we always think about with online classes, the difference between having a lot of variety and having things be very regular, and usually regularity beats out. So as you move through, I figure that August is still bright and sunny, and then we're hoping to move into some fall, so we've got some sunshine and some amber colored leaves, and then going into Halloween month, October, some nice orange, and then we've got kind of our turkey feathers for our November, the month of Thanksgiving, and then sort of the white Christmas, blue and silver of December. So nice color scheme for your calendar, help you keep up with stuff. So what's in the modules? So in the modules, when you log in, you'll see module first day of class or before. So this is the first couple of days of class. You want to get in, you want to go through everything that's in here. There's assignments. I asked you to do an online learning readiness survey and to write me about it. There's an orientation quiz to make sure you've gone through the syllabus and different stuff. And then there's lots of helpful hints in here about how to be successful in Canvas, any questions that you have, how to use Canvas. So it's a really good getting started module, get you set on your path. And then you'll see Unit 1. And one of the things when you go through, every one of the units will have a list of the competencies that are related to that unit. So these are the competencies for Unit 1. And when you click Next, it's going to take you to Lesson 1 in Unit 1. And this is the Intro to Communication. And you can see the objectives for this lesson. When you're done with this lesson, you should be able to describe the models of communication, identify the parts of the main model of communication, and list the goals of communication. So you need to read. They're the have-to-dos, so reading, the reading quiz, and activities. And then you have some optional learning aids. There's a multimedia presentation for every chapter. I highly recommend them. Generally, they're based on videos, music videos, funny comic scenes, different stuff like that. So songs. So it tends to be kind of a fun way to find links between pop culture and the content of the book. You see your reading quiz. You see the activities, that matching model exercise, and it's the discussion board, DB. And then here's your study guide. If you feel that you're having a problem and you need to gain access, to something, a study guide can really help. So then when you were done with this, you're probably going to come back in the next week. You're not going to go next. But for convenience sake, we're just going to click Next. And then you're going to see Lesson 2 in Module 1. And it's about the self and perception. And there's one objective: describe how perception impacts communication. So then, again, have-to-dos, the reading quiz, and the activities, your optionals, the multimedia, the study guide. So this is how the whole class is kind of put together. So try to be really consistent to help you to be successful. You'll be able to see all the materials that you need by going through the modules and clicking on the lessons. You can click on grades to check your grade and see how you're doing in class. And when we do a group project, we'll use this collaborations area to help you have a place to collaborate. So that's kind of a basic overview about how COM 100 Online is going to work. If you have any questions, be sure and email me, reach out, come to the office. I am more than happy to help you. What my goal is for everyone to finish and everyone to be successful and get the grade that they planned on getting when we start the class. So if you need anything, send me an email, give me a holler. All right, have a great class.